Hello and welcome to another new episode of Learning Simplified. From this tutorial and so on, we will be now learning a new tutorial on the AngularJS. So what is this AngularJS? First of all, I would like to say that JavaScript had always been a way to add interactivity to web pages through the decades, but as the time passing on, nowadays it has risen to some mainstream importance. From adding just some basic interactivities to the web pages, it has become a powerful tool to build up large and ultra sophisticated web applications. Now, among them, if we choose the highest and the most modulated or tuned JavaScript is right now considered as the AngularJS. Now the question is, why AngularJS? One might wonder why to choose AngularJS while there are other alternatives to it. So the reasons are, the first one is interactive user interface. The second one is higher performance. Next, two-way data binding technique, which is used in AngularJS, and this is one of the strongest feature used in AngularJS. We will be soon knowing about it. The next one is Model View Controller or the MVC architecture integration to the project. The next one is declarative and less coding, code reusability, use of directives, which is very important in case of using a mainframe JavaScript into our project. The next one is AngularJS allows us the optical web application management, and it works well with other libraries. So AngularJS is a JavaScript-based open source front-end structural framework for dynamic web applications. It lets us to use HTML as the template language, while on the other hand, it allows us to extend HTML's syntax to express our application component. This simple yet powerful framework structure was originally created by Google back in 2010. Now, before we download and install AngularJS into our project, the very first thing is what to do while setting up our project. Well, the process is very simple as we had seen earlier in some earlier occasions. First of all, we will be creating a root directory into our project, and we know how to create it into anywhere of our computer. The very next thing that we are going to do, we will be creating some additional subfolders into that particular root folder that we have created, and we will be naming them accordingly. Like, we have created a folder which is known as custom CSS. Next, we have created another folder. All these things are practically subfolders which is lying inside the root folder of web project. In the next case, we have created another folder which is known as custom.js. We have created another subfolder which is known as images, and outside of all those folders, we had practically created an index.html, an HTML file which we will be using into our project. So all these things are typically being created right over here, and if we now head back to our text editor, currently we can see that practically nothing is involved, nothing is written into our index.html. So the first thing is we need to create the bone structure of our project before proceeding to anything else. So first of all, let's create the structure. We have created this HTML tag. Now we can see that we have practically created the bone structure of an HTML page. But one thing I must assure you that this is not going to be enough in case of using AngularJS into our project. First of all, we need to make them, we need to turn it into an HTML5 document. So we will be heading on to the top, and here we will be declaring this doc type here. In the next case, we may use the meta charset tag, which practically defines the character set which we'll be using here. There it goes. And as I have said, that we need to close it in this manner. Now we are almost ready to go. First of all, we need to recheck that we did. We have practically created an HTML page right over here. We have created an HTML page. We have created some basic bone structure to it. We haven't done anything else. We haven't inserted anything into it, first of all. And now we have declared it as an HTML5 document by declaring it as doc type HTML. So this is up to this far in the first place. Next, we need to download and install the AngularJS into our project.